Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. Today I am bringing you a much anticipated video. You guys voted and that's what I'm bringing you today, the freezer breakfast. You actually asked for freezer meals. So I thought why not start with the easiest thing that we can make, and it's super duper budget friendly. You can prep this out in no time. It didn't take me that long to do all of this, and it sets you up for the whole week. You can keep them for the month, for the year, whatever you need to do. As long as you freeze it right, you're good to go. So I do highly encourage you to take a little bit of time and do that if you can, because it saves you so much money. I was looking at the price today, just for example, of like those Jimmy Dean or knockoff sausage biscuits, which is literally just a biscuit and sausage. It was $8 at the store. So who knows what it is somewhere else. I was like, there's no way, because our family would devour that in one sitting and there was nothing left to show for it. So I'm sharing with you guys some super easy meals. I had planned to make even more, but this week everybody got really hungry and they actually ate some of the stuff I was going to cook with. So if you guys like this, I plan to share all kinds of this type of content, all kinds of freezer meals, all kinds of meal preps, things like that, because honestly, it sets you up and it helps you with your budget. And this year I'm all about tackling our budget. So you guys, if you're new, I'd love to have you here. I'd love to have you subscribe. Don't forget, this month, this video is a food challenge collab that I host, and everyone is going to be participating with breakfast ideas. I just took mine a different direction. So make sure you check out the group playlist when you get done watching my video. And you guys, I have some awesome giveaways coming up, because that is one stipulation I have now. When I talk to these brands, I like to do reviews for products and see like if I like them or if I think that you guys might like them. But my biggest thing is I want to give back to you all, because you guys support me so much. So I've been telling them, you know, I'll do it if you'll send my viewers something, or send me something to send my viewers. So I do plan to do some giveaways coming up, so make sure you've got that notification bell on so you know when I upload. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Okay, you guys, I am making some super simple, cheap things here. We are just going to start out with this sausage, and yeah, that's real pork sausage. And honestly, it's only $2.99, I think, at Aldi, so still not terribly bad in comparison to like bacon, which is astronomical. So that's why I went with sausage today. I just got 2 things of it. Because I do prefer turkey sausage, but it is like $4 and something at Walmart, I noticed online today. So here I am just going to make some sausage biscuits. This couldn't be easier. All you do, this is all I do, is I just cut this into these little circles, and then I just kind of firm them up, because I just like them to be a little bit compact. So I think this made about 8, and then I'm just going to brown those until they are done. And you will see in a minute that yes, I did go in and get the fake sausage. Honestly, just trying to use it up out of the freezer, because there was 4 little pieces left. So trying to make things stretch. You will see that I'm trying to make everything stretch. Like, I had leftover sausage and I used it in my dinner this same night, just because I am trying to budget better and make things that are efficient, that taste good, and that can help me save money. So you'll see here I had these 2 biscuits. I'm just going to put them out on the sheet pan, and then I'll cook them according to direction. And then once these are done, all I want to do is put the sausage in the middle of them, and we will freeze that. And honestly, it couldn't be easier. Now, some people like to add cheese to theirs or anything else. Feel free to. I was out of cheese at this particular day. I know that's a shocker, but we eat so much cheese in this house, so that's why it was gone. Okay, here we are making the French toast sticks, and honestly, these were not like pretty enough to freeze. I know that sounds silly, but I made these a different way. As you see, I'm using creamer. I'm just using a half a cup of creamer, but you can use milk or anything else like that, but I always like to change that out, and I use creamer, and then I'm just putting in a teaspoon of vanilla and a couple tablespoons, you'll see, of stevia instead of the sugar, because we already had all that caramel macchiato creamer to use up. And then I put a teaspoon of cinnamon. And here I am just melting 3 tablespoons, or what's left of that little stick of butter, and I'm mixing that in. And this is just going to be like our batter that we dip the bread into to make the French toast sticks. So I probably should have used something thicker, but I thought the Italian bread would do good, and it was on sale at Aldi. So all I'm doing here is cutting them into little pieces, and then I'm going to dip them. But if you had firmer bread than this bread was so good and soft, and honestly, these tasted incredible. I mean, the kids couldn't get out of them. They tasted so good. They just didn't look good because they were so soft, I think, from the bread and from the creamer that I use. Because like I said, when I make French toast casserole and things, I use creamer in it. And I just needed to use some of the creamer up that was in the fridge because we had entirely too much, or I kept buying extra when I couldn't get my sugar-free creamer in. So that's what I'm using here, and it gives it such a great flavor. I recommend it in your French toast. So here I am just laying it out on a sheet pan, and this made so many. I think that's another problem. I like overlayered them. Now while those are cooking in the oven for like 20 minutes, actually about 15 minutes, I'm going to come over here and I am going to brown the other pack of sausage. I'm just breaking it up into little pieces, real fine. And this is what we are going to use to top our other biscuits with, or English muffins. And I like to add a little pepper to mine. So if we had more time, and then I would make sausage biscuits, and I could freeze those in little bowls. But today we'll focus on this. So there's the French toast sticks and the biscuits going in at the same time. I'm just multitasking here. And the sausage is over there browning on the stove. So while that is browning, I am going to take the rest of the eggs that I have here. I did reserve 3 extra ones though, for something else I'm going to make in a minute. But I'm just breaking all these eggs up, and I'm going to mix a little bit of the milk that we have left over, because we are using what we have in our pantry and our fridge, and basically cleaning everything out almost, because I need to get groceries, but I don't want to waste anything. So just taking all these eggs, and we are going to mix the milk in. There's the milk. And then we are going to just cook the eggs until they're light and fluffy. And honestly, milk, if you didn't know that, you can add half and half into your eggs. You can add a little bit of milk into them. Anything like that just makes them a little bit fluffier. So that's what I always do, and it makes them stretch a little bit more. So now we're coming back over. I had another pack of English muffins, and these things are so dry. I'm not a huge English muffin fan. I like to make pizzas with them for the kids. But here I am just breaking up these English muffins because I knew if I didn't use them they would go bad, and I didn't have enough sausage to make them stretch. So I am making a casserole out of these, similar to my French toast casserole. I'm just adding 3 eggs into this, and then I'm going to add a half a cup of the creamer, as you can see. Or actually, I think I'm adding a cup. Yep, I did. I added a whole cup of creamer. And then I added like a teaspoon of vanilla, some salt, some sugar, and some brown sugar, and then we are just mixing it together, and we're going to pour it in the bottom of 13 by 9 inch pan. So then we are going to pour this mixture on top of this once it's poured into the pan. It's going to be like a mixture of some sugar and some melted butter, and that just gives it this nice like sweetness over top of it, as if you needed more sweetness to be added to this. So then we are going to just preheat our oven also, but honestly my oven's already on. But if you weren't, then you would put it at 350, and then we're going to bake this. Once we put all this yummy topping on top, we're going to bake it for 45 minutes in the oven, and these came out just perfect. And then we're going back over here to our now cooled off biscuits and our sausage and all that, and we're just going to prepare these together, because you want to wait until they're cooled down, because otherwise you're going to have all that moisture in the bag when you go to freeze it, and you just don't want to do that. You just want to let it like cool down a little bit before you combine these, unless you're trying to put cheese on it, then it like kind of melts. But before you bag it, make sure you let it cool down. And then we are going to just put these together all nice and cute. And then here you will see I'm just putting egg. Normally I would add cheese because the kids do like cheese with theirs. And you could even add peppers, onions, whatever you want to. That's what is the beauty of this. You can add anything. But since we're keeping it cheap and simple today and using up actually what we have, without having to run to the store, because that's one way to save money, I really wanted to go and get some cheese and a couple other things. And I said, don't do it, because we set a budget for the week and we're going to stick to it. So that's why I didn't go and do it. So here we are, just putting them all together, and look how many this is making. Now, I will say my kids got into this because they said it looked so good. So they did eat some of this, but still, it filled our freezer. And this is just like minimal amount of money here with that you can budget in. I mean, this was eggs, which I normally buy anyway, and then the biscuits, and you could do crescent rolls, you can do tortilla wraps, you can do English muffins, bagels, I mean, anything. So it's really, really budget friendly to do this. If you price it out, or if you add this into your budget, then you can make this happen. I mean, it really does beat paying $8 for one little box of these. Or, you know, I mean, think about how much money that would be. I mean, I don't even want to input that in my brain right now, but it's a lot. And sometimes there are impulse buys where you just want to buy it because it's easier to do. But I'm telling you, this doesn't take that long to do. So here I was just using some ham I had in the fridge, and I just laid it on top of there. Normally I'd put cheese on it, but I needed to use up that egg. So that's why I made like little ham and egg sandwiches, because they love that. And I didn't heat the ham up like normal because they're going to microwave it. This is going in the freezer. So here I'm just wrapping it with some foil, and then I'll put the foil wrapped ones into a big bag. Or you can individually wrap these in little baggies and put it in there. But I find this to be the easiest way. And then I'm just labeling what they are. And then I will label my bag. You don't want to write on your bag once they're full, or once, like, if you fill it with liquid and stuff. You don't want to write it on it after, because it will like smear when it gets like all that moisture. So I'm just writing on it beforehand, and I'm putting the date. That way I know. And then we're just putting it in there. And that is just as basic as it can be. Okay, you guys, I am just taking some grapes I've had already frozen, some spinach or kale I've already had frozen. I chose to do the kale. I like to hide the veggies in their smoothies. And then I had some of this berries left. I hate a bunch of packaging all over the place like this. It drives me crazy. So I was trying to make more space in the freezer and use things like that otherwise would just sit in these little bags. So my girls love smoothies, and it's just a lot of prep work trying to get it all out at once and like divide it and do all that. So I thought, why not go ahead and make some easy protein, or like smoothie packs. I did try to add the hemp protein that we had because I can hide that in the girls' stuff. They won't know what's in there. But the consistency, it just looked kind of nasty, and I know the girls would fuss if they saw that. So honestly, I'll just sneak that in afterwards. But I went ahead and threw the oats in, and that way they're all prepped out. If the girls want to get them out, because they do like to make their own smoothies and push the button and do all that stuff, then I've got it all ready to go. And here is that French toast casserole that I used the English muffins with. And all I did is I let it cool to room temperature, and then I am just bagging them up. I'm putting 2 little slices in each bag. They can pop these out on a school morning or a weekend morning or whenever, and just microwave it with a little bit of syrup. And they have an easy breakfast. Pair it with some fruit, and there you go, guys. Incredibly easy. I mean, look at this. It makes my heart happy to see this. Look at that. Before, completely empty. After, beautiful. Okay, my beautiful friends, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some easy ideas that you can just take a little bit of time, prep out, and freeze, and you will be good to go for the week, especially with school starting back up soon. So I appreciate you guys more than you know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you guys.